Hi guys, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your daily horoscope and energy reading for July 16th. And the moon moves into Leo, which thankfully. So let's talk because we're starting to get some fire energy brewing in here, which I personally like. I don't like it when an energy gets really predominant in a day or in a chart, because that makes it very difficult to have a really balancing energy, and I'm all about balance. So we have Mars, Mercury, and the Sun still in opposition with Pluto, the planet of power and deep-seated issues and, all of our deep drudged up stuff, where we lose our personal power. And it's also opposing Uranus in Aries. So somebody, you could have conversations with people that make you ego-oriented and make you react and make you very emotional. I would be very, very careful about driving. I see accidents in the home happening very easily because of all of this energy. You could get cocky and ego-oriented, and then you get pissy in your home and you accidentally cut yourself because you're being you're being pissy about something. You could communicate on an ego-based level, and it's and it's backed by emotions. So there's not a lot of logic playing in some of your communications. You may not be totally aware of just how deep that those words cut until after this little transit. But I just forewarn you, just if you feel that you need to lash out, you want to shut it. Just zip it up. Just don't freaking do it, because what is coming out of your mouth is emotion based. And I gotta tell you, I have lived with an Aries moon my whole life, and when Cancer energy, because I'm a Leo on the cusp of Cancer, when it starts to do the waving thing, it ignites my moon, which is incredibly ego-oriented, Aries-oriented. Uranus is in Aries, so it's Aries-oriented. You will lash out and you will say something that you will regret, and it is not for the betterment. Let me tell you, when Cancer energy gets all butthurt, which it gets butthurt really, really friggin' easily, then you're going to turn around and you're going to lash out and you're going to say some really stupid things, and sometimes you can't take stuff back. Sometimes you take somebody's power away. Sometimes you belittle them. Sometimes they belittle you when they're lashing out as well. So this is not the day that I think you're sitting down having big heart-to-hearts about what you want. Now, you're going to be all heart. You're going to be all about love and romance. But I don't think there's a lot of really true supportive energy in the day, which is probably some of the reasons why you might get a little butthurt. Well, a lot butthurt. And why conversations that may come up that are super tense and super uncomfortable. Know that Saturn is still in here driving the dagger in and just turning it and maybe adding a little salt on that friggin' wound, and then turning it again. And it might add like a whole lot more salt, and then turn it again, little rat bastard, because I hate Saturn energy, especially when it's in Leo, because I am a Leo on the cusp of Cancer, and I have freaking so many placements of Leo. It has been hurting my heart lately. It has just been torturing me. And I know that I need to seek a middle ground. When I have this square, I know that I am in serious opposition, and I need to find a way, even in opposition, to find a neutral territory. But it is very difficult when you have all of this water energy being ignited and driving me bananas. So this day, Saturn is going to be opposing Jupiter. So you got the two big power players up there, right? They're going head to head. And I like to look at Saturn in Scorpio as evil, Jupiter in Leo as good. So Jupiter in Leo is all heart, all soul. Sun revolves around it. It replenishes life. It gives all it can do. And then you've got Saturn in Scorpio in darkness, in death, in loss, in repression, in jealousy. Like, it's in all this really dark area. So you got these two heavy hitters up there fighting about how to teach you, because Jupiter's a great teacher and so is Saturn. Now, Saturn teaches us about our psychological issues. It teaches us how to benefit others. Jupiter is a planet that teaches us how to get what we want, how to get, ourselves, which is real. Leo loves that energy because it's all about getting what it wants. And then it's sitting in Jupiter, and Jupiter's, in there, and it's conjunct with Venus. But we're talking about these two energies kind of going into the last degrees. And so it's, you know what? These two are having a very, very serious conversation, which is why they're not in quincunx yet. They're in squares. So I think they want to meet in the middle, but there is some opposition as to, Jupiter wants to go in there and teach you a lesson by giving you what you want and letting you flourish, right? Where Saturn is saying, no, I'm going to take away, I'm going to control, I'm going to allot you the portions I give you. We'll see what you do with those. If you do well with those, I'm going to give you a little bit more portion. And that's going to be of some turmoil today. I can guarantee you that. We also have Saturn in here trining with your Sun and Mercury. So remember what I say about trines. Trines are a good energy. They work so harmoniously together. It's like when you're driving a clutch, right? And you're driving down the road, and when you first start driving your clutch, it was a fracking nightmare. You had two pedals you had to deal with. You had to shift the gear, and you know what? You're on a fracking hill, and you're trying to get up there, and you're stripping your gears. You're trying to get into first. You're scared that if you let off the clutch, that it's going to roll a little bit backward and hit the car behind you. And so you're just terrified to do anything, right? That's, and then pretty soon you drive enough. It's like switching gears and letting out the clutch and, pushing in the clutch and letting out the clutch works together, and you don't even think about it. That's trining, where all of it works together and you don't even think about it, but you get the same result. If you combine Saturn and the Sun and Mercury, how you think, even if it's emotion based, and how you identify with what you think, and you have it combined with Saturn, you could really get to the bottom of some of the things you really desire, and you could have a conversation with Saturn. You could be really vulnerable with Saturn, and then Saturn could start to either create some obstacles in areas so that you don't progress in the areas that you really don't want, but it could also remove some obstacles in areas that you really do want, but you were too afraid to admit to yourself emotionally. And so you could really, get some breakthroughs today. Also, Neptune and Pisces is going to be trining Mars. If you want to pour yourself into something, if it's home and family related, say you want to redo a room, and you have this idealistic look of how you want to redo your room, because we're talking about Mars being in Cancer, and this can be about home renovations as well. Even though Venus is in its shadow period, you may second guess what you're doing. It can make you very passionate about what you idealize. It's a great time for planning. And then when Venus is in retrograde, then you can go in and you can look back at the past and tweak it. And then once it's out of retrograde, then you could go and step forth it. It can make you very passionate about a creative endeavor. It doesn't mean that it will get you ahead, but it can make you all of a sudden fired up. You could idealize an ideal family issue. Like, say if you want to get married, you start to think of that ideal family look that you have and really concentrate on it, and it can pull you through these energies. And it can make you extremely passionate again. Your desires. This could be, you could also get very, very, very passionate about a spiritual endeavor. Or you could have a very passionate connection with something that spiritually aligns during this day that was very unexpected. And during this time, you could be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that just happened. Like I didn't know I was intuitive. I didn't know that I could feel to that degree. I didn't know that I would get, this day has the potential to be a day where you get messages. Spend some time taking a nap, when you sleep, sleep in. You know where you get that little half sleep? You know where you don't want to wake up yet, so you close your eyes and you try to fall back to sleep. And that's when you get some really weird dreams. You could get a message during that time. So it's a great time to have that kind of half sleep feeling. Like if you just go, like say if you're at work and you take a 10 or 15 minute break and you go sit out in your car, and my dog, I'm scratching the top of his little butt. And so when I do it, you can see his little tongue. He's like, I don't know why he does this. So cute. Anyhow, that is your daily horoscope and energy reading for today, and I look forward to talking to you guys again tomorrow.